Welcome to my channel.
It's difficult to turn on the radio nowadays without listening to the peppy popular music of Katy Perry. Her taking off contralto voice has figured out how to do what relatively few recording specialists can accomplish, and that is win fanatics of all ages and all demographics. Regardless, one listens to the lively Hot and Cool, the taking off Firecracker, or the engaging Thunder, and it's anything but difficult to see why Perry has achieved such elevated amounts of fame. Plain and basic, the music justifies itself with real evidence. Obviously, Perry's looks aren't precisely harming her case. Anybody with eyes can see that she's totally lovely, and she has always been singled out for her staggering appearance by distributions like Proverb, GQ, Elle, Men's Wellbeing, and Vogue, among others. In each feeling of the expression, she's the aggregate bundle, a first-class performer with marquee icon looks, a drop-dead beauty with incredible singing abilities and an extraordinary identity to coordinate. Big names like Perry don't come around all that frequently, that is without a doubt. With every last bit of her acclaim, Katy Perry has become more than what's coming to her of press, and a large portion of her fans like to think they've investigated every possibility in finding out about their most loved pop star. In any case, there might be a couple of lesser-known tidbits that didn't come to the surface. Here are 20 things you likely didn't think about Katy Perry. 1. Katy was born as Catherine Elizabeth Hudson on October 25, 1984, in Santa Claus Barbara, California to guardians who are Pentecostal ministers. Religion had an enormous impact on Katy's life as she was growing up. She went to Christian schools and camps as a kid. Still, she was somewhat of a tomboy, taking up cliché Californian leisure activities like surfing and skateboarding as an adolescent. Still, she was continually enraptured by music, and her affection for singing and performing would apparently develop and bloom into an extraordinary career. 2. Katy's folks' dedication to preservationist Christianity appeared to penetrate each part of her young life, even places where you won't hope to see it. For instance, Katy and her kin were prohibited from having the famous breakfast hold rabbit's feet, since good fortune has its historical background in the name Lucifer. They could be that as it may, eat deviled eggs, however, they called them angeled eggs. She was not permitted to peruse any of the Harry Potter books, a genuine hit to any creative youngster, and she wasn't allowed to watch the Smurfs. And apparently, all music played in the house was Christian music. Her folks did not permit mainstream records to be played by any stretch of the imagination. 3. Why doesn't Katy Perry utilize her given name as her stage name? All things considered, for a couple of reasons. For the most part, she had been called Katy since she was youthful. Keeping that she released her first record under the name Katy Hudson, she was worried that keeping on utilizing that name would bring about perplexity with the performing artist Kate Hudson. She picked Perry as her last name for her profession since it was her mom's family name. 4. Perry's first album, released in 2001, was an accumulation of Christian pop tunes mainly called Katy Hudson. It didn't do well by any means. However, it not the slightest bit demoralized Perry from seeking after music as a career. She kept on chipping away at her voice, notwithstanding contemplating Italian musical show for a period as an approach to improve. What impacted her most amid this time, however, was her first invasion into mainstream music fandom. She found Alanis Morissette's prevalent 1995 record Rugged Little Pill and was snared. Right up till the present time, she refers to the mega hit You Ought to Know as one of her greatest impacts. 5. Katy Perry's way to fame similar to a rough one, and her entrance into popular music was rough, loaded with misfortunes and dissatisfactions. She was signed by a name on Def Jam in 2004, an excellent enormous break by any norms, yet when that name was dropped, the collection she had been taking a shot at never got released. She was then signed to Columbia Records, yet they needed to advance her as the following Avril Lavigne, a picture she was not in the least okay with. Columbia let her go in 2006. Finally, in 2007, Perry was marked to Legislative Center Records, where she got more backing for the kind of music she needed to make, and the rest, as is commonly said, is history. 6. Her first huge hit was the well-known 2008 single I Kissed a Girl. Where did Perry get the motivation to compose the tune from? Trust it or not, from Scarlett Johansson. She saw a photo of Johansson when she was with her then sweetheart Travis McCoy, from Gym Class Heroes, who makes a cameo in the video for I Kissed a Girl, that if the incredible performing artist strolled into the room, she would need to make out with her. Later in 2008, Perry performed on The Perspective and was kissed on the mouth, and on camera, by host Whoopi Goldberg, who pronounced a short time later, "I loved it." 7. For quite a while, Perry was connected impractically to English comic Russell Brand. The two began dating in 2009, and Brand proposed to her in 2010 in the greatest path imaginable, in India, on an elephant, while firecrackers were shooting off in the sky. Brand and Perry got hitched in India in 2010, yet unfortunately, they separated only a year later. Apparently, Brand was troubled in the relationship since he was prepared to begin a family, and Perry was not. 8. Perry's 2010 collection High School Dream was a colossal hit, so enormous, truth be told, that it imparts an outstanding record to Michael Jackson's Bad album. What do the two have in like manner? They both had 5 #1 melodies. Unmistakably, Perry is following in some excellent people's footsteps. Also, Perry is the primary female in music history to release an album with 5 #1s. The album additionally had 8 hits in the main 5, simply the third time in history that has been accomplished. 9. For some vocalists, being the subject of a narrative about your life is an entirely decent sign that you've arrived. In 2012, MTV Movies released Katy Perry, Part of Me, a 3D full-length motion picture about Perry that elements both meetings with her and live execution footage. The film was genuinely welcomed, winning nearly $33 million in the cinema world, a profoundly respectable figure for a music narrative. It additionally won a 2012 High Schooler Decision Grant for Decision Summer Film, Comic Drama or Music. Need to watch it at home? It's accessible on DVD and Bluebeam and using video stream on Perry's Facebook page. 10. Perry served as a visitor judge on the 9th season of American Idol in 2010, and she evidently made a decent impression. Makers offered her a quite pleasant paycheck of $2 million in 2013 to be a full-time judge on the Appear, yet Perry respectfully declined. At the point when inquired as to why in a resulting meeting with a Hollywood journalist, Perry just expressed, "It's not right for me yet." She proceeded with that it's a real commitment to be on one of those shows, then proceeded fault with, "I have ideas for 2 or 3 big, creative things, and I want to be able to fulfill those ideas." 11. While Katy Perry composes her very own raw material, she has likewise composed a modest bunch of tunes that different craftsmen have taken and made their own. For instance, she composed Kelly Clarkson's 2009 song I Do Not Hook Up, alongside That's More Like It by Selena Gomez, Passenger by Britney Spears, Time's Up by Ashley Tisdale, and Breakout by Miley Cyrus. In case you're interested how these melodies would sound with Perry singing them, check YouTube. Her interpretations of a significant portion of these tunes are on there. 12. Katy Perry isn't only a capable artist and lyricist, she likewise knows acceptable behavior. Her first huge acting break was in 2008 when she showed up on the CBS Cleanser musical show The Youthful and the Fretful. She played herself, keeping in mind it was a brief part, it was a beguiling one. Her voice was utilized as a part of the 2011 Smurfs film, and she played Smurfette. Having influence in the Smurfs was a humorous turn in Perry's life, as she was not ever permitted to watch the Smurfs television event as a tyke. Perry likewise taped a scene for her then spouse Russell Brand's film Get Him to the Greek. However, it was at last left on the cutting room floor. 13. Katy Perry has a feline cut mascot named Kitty Purry. On the off chance that you didn't get on the name, it's a silly play on Perry's name. It's shown up on Perry's online networking sustains, it's been the subject of a few web journals, and it was even selected for Nickelodeon Youngster Decision Recompense for Best Superstar Pet. While Perry cherishes her pet, she doesn't go up against it. Visit with her sibling deals with Kitty Purry when Kitty is out performing. 14. Numerous pop stars today are enthusiasts of getting inked, and Perry is no special case. 9 unique tattoos have been spotted on her body to date, and she has even carried a tattoo craftsman on a visit with her. Concerning what she has, there are few on her lower legs, a swirly peppermint tree and a strawberry, both cartoonish with countenances and both to honor the achievement of her initial 2 collections. She has one on her arm that peruses, Anuga Katy Pravaha, which is Sanskrit for go with the flow. This one was a coordinating tattoo with a previous spouse Russell Brand, yet he apparently got his removed after the couple split. She likewise has Jesus tattooed on her left side wrist. This one was done when she was only 18, and in spite of the fact that she is no more a preservationist Christian, it's an indication of her childhood. 15. You won't consider Katy Perry as companion material for a former Beatle, yet you'd not be right. Perry and music legend Paul McCartney are mates, and it began in a 2013 scene of BBC System The Graham Norton Appear. McCartney and Perry both met, and Sir Paul complimented her on her tune Fireworks. The two have been companions from that point forward. 16. Who is the most followed on Twitter? No, it's not Justin Bieber, but rather that is a decent figure. It's our young lady Katy Perry, with an incredible 90 million devotees. Perry herself takes after only 160 Twitter clients. Perry is prominent on the online networking system since tweets all the time, putting out everything from music-related data to her political leanings to positive musings about the world. 17. Talking about political leanings, Perry is an uproarious and pleased Democrat. She upheld President Obama for re-race in 2012. And she has supported majority rule competitor Hillary Clinton for president in 2016. Truth be told, she's given $2,700 to Clinton's crusade and has shown up at battle stops for the previous Secretary of State. More than her gathering alliance, however, Perry is a staunch supporter of the LGBT people group and views herself as a gay rights lobbyist. She has joined in a few media crusades went for passing expert LGBT enactment and anticipating homophobic tormenting. 18. Perry may procure a significant amount of cash, yet she likewise gives away a considerable measure of money. A giver on a basic level, Perry has worked with UNICEF as a goodwill minister on different ventures. She has likewise remarkably assisted various philanthropies and associations, for example, the Keep Abreast Foundation, Music Cares, Children's Health Fund, the Humane Society, and the Museum of Contemporary Art in Los Angeles. 19. Katy Perry has won what's coming to her of recompenses. She's racked up 5 American Music Awards and 5 Billboard Awards, plus 5 MTV Video Music Awards, 14 People's Choice Awards, 16 Choice Awards, a Juno, and a Brit, among others. In any case, one grant that Perry totally does not have is a Grammy, and that is in spite of being selected a great 13 times. While she will most likely win one, in the end, she'll simply need to support herself with one of the 58 different trophies she sacked. 20. Exactly what amount are Katy Perry's total assets? As indicated by Forbes, she's worth $125 million. While that is insufficient to get her on the rundown of wealthiest independent ladies, Perry is as yet doing entirely well fiscally, and she was the most elevated acquiring big female name in 2015. 15.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more update.